Magic of Joy channel. Today, I want to discuss something that can be hard to get our arms around, resolve, and heal. And the topic is investment. And don't snooze. I'm not talking about the financial kind. I'm talking about the life-supporting or life-denying kind, and the one that we as individuals make. So let's take a look at this. And the reason we're looking at this is because we have a story about limitlessness in our culture, which on the surface sounds wonderful. It means that not having limits or bounds. It's pretty much an anything goes way of thinking. But it's obviously wrong since nature is telling us to chill, unfortunately without much effect. What happens with the idea of limitlessness is that some things are unexamined. One of those things is what we invest our time and energy in. What is also not considered is the price of that investment and the cost to us, others, and the well-being of our planet. We always have some investment going on. You can't escape it. Everything requires our attention, our energy, our time, and some other resources as well. We're happy when our investments feel like a good use of our time and energy, and not so happy when they don't feel right. In order to feel truly satisfied, there has to be an alignment between what we really need and want, the times we live in, and the conditions in our lives, and our ability to deal with each moment in a satisfactory way. What happens when we're out of alignment, when our way of life becomes too demanding of current resources, that includes our own personal ones, and depletes us faster than we can restore ourselves? And that applies to the earth as well. What happens when our world demands investments that are ultimately self-defeating? We pay a lot of attention to personality and success, but what does that even mean in a world that is self-destructing? And what is the cost of that success when the earth is burning and we have over 8 billion people on the planet? What is success if we lose the joy and magic of the beautiful earth we call home? What good does it do us to succeed in the moment while destroying our future? What a shame that we make the price of survival a success that harms us. Success is a funny thing. It means different things at different times. For early humans, finding a dry, safe cave, that was success, or maybe some berries to eat. Success and how we define it changes as we change, but it always must be tied to the reality of life on Earth. There was a time when we did not have enough material well-being, and it was urgent that we create it. We've succeeded in doing so, but it's such a price to ourselves and the Earth that we need to reimagine success. We need a new story, and we need a new purpose. We can have a healthy relationship with success when what we create advances quality of life for us and others. An example is creating prosthetics for those who have lost a limb. I know it's just a simple example. There was a time when seeking more was imperative to have enough to survive. Now, continually seeking more is harming us because the earth does not have enough time to restore the resources that we're consuming. If the earth was like a bank account, we're in the red and we're not changing direction. Once we achieve one form of success, we then get the opportunity to discover new forms of success. That's true for us as individuals and also for cultures. Cultures are a project, and our current cultural project is and has been creating material well-being. We've succeeded, but we're now overshooting the Earth's ability to continue in this direction. The Earth is telling us to chill, to reconsider what we need to be doing. This is actually a great message, because if we can see that we have achieved the objective of being able to create material well-being, then we can start to see that with some adjustment, we also have the ability to lift our sights from survival as our purpose and create a new story that lets us embrace new adventures and new joy built on the foundation of material well-being that has been successfully created. This is good news, but it is a change, and it means that we must change our investment in material accumulation for a new objective. I would suggest that quality of life and thriving would be fabulous choices. A joy practice is a shift in our investments. By its very nature, it shifts our investment to quality of life. It takes us out of survival to a more relaxed, low-conflict approach to life that serves the common good and the greatest quality of life that we can have at any point in time. A joy practice is built on a foundation of being constructive, of creating caring in the world and serving the common good. There is no one or no thing to conquer, no one to beat, and no one to harm. It enables us to relax into our own goodness and the goodness of the world, in others and nature, and respect and support that goodness. It helps us lighten up and not carry the burdens of the world on our shoulders. Rather, a joy practice makes joy everybody's business, and it's a great way for all of us to be in this together. I hope the idea of lightening up, relaxing, and not needing more will feel freeing to you. It is what a joy practice offers. I think it's a great deal and something I definitely want more of. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about how joy can transform your life. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on the transformative power of joy. I'll be back soon to give you more information about how joy as a practice and compass can transform your life. Stay well and joyful until then, and thank you for watching.